How's it? I'm Noah. The question I had was actually about what the relations look like today among like the diaspora and Ethiopia. Like specifically the church or like the Rastafari community, like what is the status basically today?
It's kind of a broad question I could answer in a few different ways. I think that you're talking about, Justin, what's the relationship between the African diaspora and today, talking today, with Ethiopia, the Ethiopian church, and even Rastafari? What is their relationship and connection in this time now? What is the relation? Is that what you're asking, or do you want to edify a little more?
Yeah, that's kind of about like what the connection looks like today. Because like in the past, they did a lot.
Yeah, you can talk.
Yeah, like in the past they did a lot with like formal programs, like inviting the diaspora back to Ethiopia, like the land grant that you mentioned. But like if you're seeing any signs of that type of thing today, or if you know of any political action or like social action that's happening between the diaspora or like the Ethiopian church.
Okay, so yeah, I think I understood your question pretty well, and I can kind of just answer it on a couple different levels, you know. I think that today, is the government currently offering African diaspora to become national citizens of Ethiopia through them approving it? I think that actually might be something that I read about, that they may still do. It's kind of like, you know, I'm not sure because of the government being different, and them also going astray from His Majesty's kind of direction, which is severing ties with Israel until they moved back from the territories they took after 1967. They didn't do that, but now Ethiopia has aligned with them, even though they're not doing what His Majesty severed ties. You see what I'm saying? So it's not the same government. They're not making the same decisions. They're not aligned. So would they do what His Majesty did? Maybe. I would have to look into that, do some research more to see if they're actually still doing that. But at the same time, it's similar to the House of Israel in Ethiopia being accepted back to the state of Israel. Now, when they were there in Ethiopia for thousands of years through the descendants of the people that brought the Ark of the Covenant from Jerusalem to Ethiopia during the days of Menelik I, Solomon and Sheba, during those days. So we can see that Israel allowed these people of an ancient Israeli ancestry, even though they had been disconnected for thousands of years. You see what I'm saying? So it's similar to how these people were disconnected for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years in America. I believe it's in the hundreds. And they're disconnected, but they also may be welcoming them today in a modern state. Just like Israel. You see what I'm saying? It's just like a comparison to how His Majesty invited them and, you know, let them become citizens in that invitation and giving them a land grant for all of them. Any African abroad was allowed to be there in that free area if they wanted to live for free there. So I feel it was more for people who didn't have a lot of resources. And also representing what the spiritual Zion is compared to the creation of the State of Israel, which I talk about. It happened the same year. So I think His Majesty knew what He was doing. It wasn't a coincidence that it happened the same year. And I think that it's a perfect way for Him to symbolically represent the order of Zion and showing people that, like, yo, this is a place for you to come back home. You know what I mean? This is for you to come back to your spiritual order that was in Jerusalem with the kingdom of David and the governance of Solomon and David and these righteous kings that were chosen and anointed. Now in Israel, we don't see that. We see a government and military and policies and military that are making decisions that are not of a righteous governance. You see their disproportionate punishment on the Palestinians and trying to justify it. You cannot justify it. And so that's what I mean. You know what I mean? He's representing that order now. And it's seen in Ethiopia, but not just Ethiopia, as I've already said. There are many nations that have had a righteous governance, you know, that we've seen in history. And those are all how Christ, His government and peace is always expanding and increasing, as Isaiah says. So I think that the diaspora connection today has been, it's coming in strong. I think that people are now coming to Ethiopian Orthodoxy more so than I've seen in the past. I see now, Ethiopian Bible on Facebook, on Instagram. You know, people like, the Ethiopian Bible. You know, they may not get that deep, into what things that we talk about, but they're at least mentioning, oh, the Ethiopia were Christians. You see what I'm saying? Like I see these debates and these videos and these teachings and lectures pop up, and like in modern universities with young kids. You see what I'm saying? So I know that it is happening. There is an awakening. When I go to do my outreach at the University of Hawaii here, I'll bring a sign, I'll bring an Ethiopian Bible and prop it up, that right there, and I'll prop it up so that when they walk by, they see that, and that they'll just start coming and talking to me. Just seeing that's what brings most people in, just seeing the Bible. And like, oh, that's the Ethiopian Bible. I heard about that, and that's like the general point of interest for a lot of people now. So yeah, I think that people are, it shows that there is, maybe not just the African diaspora, but the whole world is coming to the history of Africa, is coming to the Ethiopian church, the Ethiopian Bible. But it's important that the whole world, not just Africans. You see what I'm saying? It's important that the whole world does it. It's very important for Africans too, but the bigger picture, we want to see the whole world looking towards what has been preserved. You know what I mean? The apostolic witness, the sacred memories, all of that, you know? So I think the connection is strong nowadays, and I think that a lot of Rastafari, especially, they've always been. You know, it's not more of a question with them, because they've, from the beginning of the church coming to Jamaica, you know what I mean? And they were calling for the church before that. You know, so the Rastas were always inclined towards having that connection, relationship with Ethiopia, and even the church. Although we may be more Ethiopian patriots that you may see within Rastafari movement, you may see more like Ethiopian patriots than Ethiopian Christians. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of Rastas, they don't want to identify as a Christian. They want to be Rastafari, and I know exactly why, and it's a good reason. But there should never be, oh, but I don't follow Christ. That should be part of your identity as a Rastafari. You know what I mean? Because His Majesty said all men and women need to follow Jesus Christ. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what you call yourself. Labels are insignificant. And I talked about that in the sermon. His Majesty said, shame on those people who call themselves Christians but don't live up to the what ways of Christ and His martyrdom and humility and love. You know what I mean? So I think that answers your question pretty fully.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Thank you.